Okay, let's do yesterday's. I forgot to record. My father said that in Chassidut, the beginning is wedged into the end, and the end is wedged into the beginning. What does that mean? The highest can be found only in the low, and the lowest can be found in the high. Simply, what this means is that God, when He created the world, so according to Kabbalah and all this, there's all these millions and millions of levels of spiritual worlds, each one a little bit below the other one. And each one has almost infinite, I guess maybe you can say infinite aspects to it. In general, there's divided into what's called four worlds: Atzilut, Bria, Yetzirah, and Asiya. And there's all these different types of angels, this. Nevertheless, all of these spiritual worlds that there are, which they're pretty impressive. I mean, it's amazing. And you're supposed to even think about them before you pray to come to understand how great God is. But the fact of the matter is that the only reason that these were all created is for us right now in this physical world. So the beginning of this whole entire creation was in the end, this physical world. That's what God really wanted. And you want to say conversely or oppositely, only in this physical world can we affect, if you want to call it, the essence of God. That's the whole idea of the Holy Temple. Only this world, this physical world, can have any influence on God Himself, the essence of God. So the beginning is in the end, and the end is in the beginning. The highest is in the lowest, and lowest in. This is called igulim. This is called circles. That's a Kabbalistic idea. No end. Nevertheless, so you figure, oh, there's no end, so everything, everything goes, right? It says no. Order and system are crucial. The Baal Shem Tov was very systematic and very orderly. His pupil, the Maggid of Mezrich, he insisted on having order. And the first Rebbe of Chabad, the great grandfather of the previous Rebbe, these are quotes from the previous Rebbe, he taught that Hasidim have to be orderly. We see this in all of his Maimorim and all of his discourses, his letters, his songs. Right? The Alter Rebbe had 10 songs, it says. Song of the wedding, 4 Babas. Hasidim who had set times to come to the Rebbe and later to Liadi were not permitted to change the times that they came in to the Rebbe. You couldn't just say, oh, I was sick that day. You had to have a permission from the Rebbe. Any request for change had to be justified with a reason. The Rebbe had a special committee headed by his brother, Rebbe Yehuda Leib, and they also saw to it that there was order among the Hasidim, among the pupils in the yeshiva, among the Hasidim. There was another, which was directed by the Middler Rebbe, that was the Alter Rebbe's son, that directed the younger Hasidim, all the pupils. But they had to be order. Order was very, very important in Chabad. We find that, this is today's, that was yesterday. We find that God's love for Abraham was mainly because He will command Yitzaveh et Banav et Bnei Beito. He will command his children after him. He will command. It doesn't say He will teach them, even though that's what He did, or He will be a good example, which He also did. But it says that He will command. The word for command means connect. He will connect His children to God. And with the whole service of Abraham and all the tests that he had cannot be compared to the effect that he had on others, to telling others and bringing them into unification with God. Bringing merit to other people is higher than bringing merit to yourself. That's the thing of Abraham. This is a very unique thing to Chabad, because almost all of the other groups stress, that you have to learn Torah, you have to do commandments and bring merit to yourself, which is a very good thing. Very good thing. Or you have to devote yourself just to one particular thing, to the land of Israel, to this. And Abraham's whole thing was to bring merit to others, not necessarily Jews. I mean, at the time of Abraham, there were no Jews. To bring everybody as much as possible, to have a good influence and a positive influence on everyone. And now we'll have a story. 1 minute. See, I recorded.